Vandeham Guru Padakamalam Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Abhijam Sagana Raghunatham Itam Sam Sadhivam Sadvaitam Savadru Harujana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Vishakandita Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Purnavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachantarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama
કયા
Rama,
મહારાજની દીક્ષા?
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sapasti Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sapasti Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, my dear devotees, we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations, Text 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Please repeat. Nabe
Nabe
Aso
Asau
Rishabha
Rishabha
Asa
Asa
Sudevi
Sudevi
Sunu
Tunu
Ya
Ya
Vai
Tai
Yogacharyam
Chataram
Yat
Ya
Paramahamsyam
Brahmamsyam
Rishaya
Rishaya
Padam
Padam
Amananti
Amananti
Swasta
Svashta
Prashanta
Prashanta
Karana
Karana
Parimukta
Parimukta
Sangha
Sangha
Naberasha Rishabha Asa Sudevi Sunu Yo
Naber Asa Reshaba Asa Sudevi Sonu
Yo Vai Chachara Samadri Jada Yoga Charyam
Vai Chachara Samadrik Jata Yoga Charyam
Yat Paramahamsyam Rishaya Param Amananti
Param Hamsyam Rishaya Patam Amananti
Swasta Prashanta Karana Parimukta Sangha.
Ashta Prashanta Karana Parimutta Sankara
Once more. Naberasa Vrishava Asa Sudevi Sunur.
Nadir Asa Rishaba Asa Sudevi Sunu
Yovai Chachara Samadrig Yada Yoga Charyam.
Vai Chachara Samadrik Yada Yoga Charyam
Yat Paramahamsyam Rishaya Param Amananti.
Yat Param Hamsyam Rishaya Padam Amananti
Swasta Prashanta Karana Parimukta Sangha.
Ashta Prachanta Karana Parimukta Sangha
Synonyms. Nabe
Nabi
by Maharaj Nabi.
by Maharaj Nabi
Asau, the personality of Godhead.
also the people of God
Rishabha,
Rishaba
Rishab.
Resha
Asa,
Asa
he came.
came
Sudevi,
Sudevi
Sudevi.
Sudevi
Sunu,
Sunu
the son of
son of
Yahu,
Yahu
Vai,
I
certainly,
certainly
Chachara,
Chachara
performed,
performed
Samadrik,
Samadrik
equibalanced,
equibalanced,
jada,
jada,
material,
material,
yogacharyam,
yogacharyam,
performance of yoga,
performance of yoga,
yat,
yat,
which,
which,
paramahamsyam,
paramhamsyam,
the highest stage of perfection,
the highest state of perfection,
rishaya,
Vishaya,
the learned sages,
learned sages,
padam,
Adam,
situation,
which,
amananti,
empty,
to accept,
do accept,
swasta, self-reposed,
self-reposed,
prashanta,
prashanta,
suspended,
suspended,
karana,
karana,
the material senses,
material senses,
parimukta,
parimukta,
perfectly liberated,
perfectly liberated,
sangha,
sangha,
material contamination.
material contamination.
Translation. The Lord appeared as the son of Sudevi, the wife of King Nabi, and was known as Rishabdev. He performed materialistic yoga to equibalance the mind. This stage is also accepted as the highest perfectional situation of liberation, wherein one is situated in oneself and is completely satisfied. Please repeat. The Lord appeared as the son of Sudevi.
Lord appeared as the son of Sudevi,
The wife of King Nabi,
wife of King Nabi,
and was known as Rishabdev.
and was known as Rishpadev.
He performed materialistic yoga
Performed materialistic yoga
to equibalance the mind.
to balance the mind.
This stage is also accepted
This stage is also accepted
as the highest perfectional situation
as the highest perfectional situation
of liberation,
of liberation,
wherein one is situated in oneself
wherein one is situated in one's self
and is completely satisfied.
and is completely satisfied.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Out of many types of mystic performances for self-realization, the process of Jata Yoga is also one accepted by authorities. This Jata Yoga involves practicing becoming dumb, practicing becoming like a dumb stone, and not being affected by material reactions. Just as a stone is indifferent to all kinds of attacks and reattacks of external situations. Similarly, one practices Jata Yoga by tolerating voluntary infliction of pain upon the material body. Such yogis, out of many self-infliction methods, practice plucking out their hairs on their heads without shaving and without any instrumental help. But the real purpose of such Jada Yoga practice is to get free from all material affection and to be completely situated in the self. So this is the real point of accepting these different types of self-imposed pain, and that is to be situated in what, to get free from all material affection and to be situated in the self. So then continuing with the purport. At the last stage of his life, Emperor Rishabdev wandered like a dumb madman, unaffected by all kinds of bodily mistreatment. Seeing him like a madman, wandering naked with long hair and a long beard, less intelligent children and men in the street used to spit on him and urinate on his body. He used to lie in his own stool and never move. But the stool of his body was fragrant like the smell of fragrant flowers. And a saintly person would recognize him as a Paramahansa, one in the highest stage of human perfection. So it is said that that it's very hard to understand the activities of a Vaishnav. Yeah, there's a verse. That says, I'm not finding it here, but it says that it's very hard to understand the activities of a Vaishnava, and therefore, oh, here it is. Thank you. This is what scripture?
CC.
Oh, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 23, text 39. Yanra chitte Krishna prema karaye udaya, tanra vakya kriya mudra vigyeha na ujaya. Translation. Even the most learned man, yes, even the most learned man cannot understand the words, activities, and symptoms of a person situated in love of Godhead. And then the next verse continues with the same theme. Yes. Danyasayam Nava Prema Yasyon Milati Chetasi Antar Vani Bir Apyasya Mudra Sushtu Sudurgama. Even a most learned scholar cannot understand the activities and symptoms of an exalted personality in whose heart love of Godhead has awakened. And purport, this verse is also found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, especially in the case of someone like Rishabdev, who was a Paramahansa situated on the highest platform of perfection, of love of God, but his activities were very peculiar according to material estimation, and in a way even according to spiritual calculation. And so people would, abuse him and ridicule him. But he tolerated everything. He didn't care what people were saying to him or about him or what they were doing to him, because he was situated in his self and he was detached from, the pains and pleasures of the material world. So just finish the purport now. One who is not able to make his stool fragrant should not, however, imitate Emperor Rishabdev. The practice of Jata Yoga was possible for Rishabdev and others on the same level of perfection. But such an uncommon practice is impossible for an ordinary man. In other words, we should not try to imitate Rishabdev, obviously. The real purpose of Jata Yoga, as mentioned here in this verse, is prashanta karana, or subduing the senses. The whole process of yoga, under whatever heading it may be, is to control the unbridled material senses and thus prepare oneself for self-realization. So the literal meaning of the word yoga is to link the English word yoke, like to yoke two oxen together, the ox cart, comes from the word yoga, which means to connect. And specifically, it means to connect with God. So the whole process of yoga, under whatever heading it may be, is to control the unbridled senses and thus prepare oneself for self-realization. And self-realization includes God realization. Lord Chaitanya has said, Jive Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. The constitutional position of the living entity is that he is the eternal servant of Krishna. So to become self-realized means to realize oneself to be the eternal servant of Krishna. And thus, real self-realization implies or includes God realization. So continuing with the purport, in this age specifically, this Jada Yoga cannot be of any practical value. But on the other hand, the practice of Bhakti Yoga is feasible because it is just suitable for this age. So yes, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada and our parampara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have the practice of Bhakti Yoga, which is feasible and practical in this age. And Srila Prabhupada has given us the Nectar of Devotion, which is a summary study of Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is the complete science of Bhakti Yoga. And by following the instructions in the Nectar of Devotion, one can come to the highest perfectional stage of yoga. Rishabdev was the son of King Nabi and the grandson of King Agnidra, and was the father of King Bharat, after whose name this planet Earth was called Bharatvarsha. So Rishabdev came in a very illustrious line, and he was the father of King Bharat, who also became a very advanced devotee. He was the ruler of the earth, but he renounced everything and went to the forest at a young age. So King Bharat also sets a wonderful example for us. Rishabdev's mother was also known as Meru Devi, although her name is mentioned here as Sudevi. It is sometimes proposed that Sudevi was another wife of King Nabi, but since King Rishabdev is mentioned elsewhere as the son of Meru Devi, it is clear that Meru Devi and Sudevi are the same person under different names. So coming to the point of the practice of Bhakti Yoga, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami enumerates 64 items of devotional service. And he says that of the 64, 5 are most potent, and even a slight performance of any one of the 5 can awaken dormant love of God. So what are the 5? Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtana, Bhagavat Shravana, Mathuravas, and Murti Shraranvita Sevana. Sadhu Sangha means association with devotees, but Srila Rupa Goswami has given a very precise definition of Sadhu Sangha. He says, Swajati Ashaye Snigde Sadhu Sangha Swato Vare. So, Swajatiya, in a literal sense, means in the same caste or community. And in our case, it would mean followers of Srila Prabhupada. So, Swajati Ashaye Snigde. And Snigde means that the sadhu should be affectionate to you. Swajati Ashaye Snigde Sadhu Sangha Swatovare. And Swatovare means that the sadhu should be more advanced than you are. So that is actual sadhu sangha. So coming back to these 5 most potent items of devotional service. So sadhu sangha, nama kirtana, chanting the holy names of the Lord. Bhagavat Shravana, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Mathura Vasa, residing in Mathura or Vrindavan or Mayapur. And Murti Shraranvita Sevana, serving the deity with faith and veneration. So these are the 5 most potent items of devotional service. And Srila Rupa Goswami says that even a slight performance of any one of the 5 can awaken a dormant love for Krishna. But we require varieties of engagement, and therefore it's beneficial for us to engage in all of them. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtana, Bhagavat Shravana, Mathura Vasa. Just like now, I mean, we may not live permanently in Mathura or Vrindavan, but we come sometimes, like now we're in Vrindavan for the month of Kartik. And Murti Sharanvita Sevana, to worship the deity with faith and veneration. And Srila Prabhupada also said that by engaging in deity worship, one confirms that one is not the body, or one realizes that one is not the body. So yes, Bhakti Yoga is very practical for this age. And the 5 most potent items are, they're easy, and they produce wonderful results. So, my dear devotees, thank you for listening so patiently and attentively. And now, if any of you have any questions or comments, you can raise your hand, your physical hand or your virtual hand, and we will discuss further. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And just like Maharaj said, if anyone may have a question, please, you may indicate by using your physical hand or the hand emoji, and you'll be asked to unmute. speak. I would also try humbly encourage devotees that if we have questions, we should try to be brief and go straight to the point so that Maharaj may leave here on time. It's quite late for Maharaj where he is at the moment. Hare Krishna. Madhuri, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj, I want to understand that this Jara Yoga, is it an offshoot of Ashtanga Yoga or is it a separate yoga altogether?
I would say it's a separate yoga.
Okay.
Yeah. The Ashtanga yoga is different. It has its 8 limbs, but this is a different, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhuri. Maharaj, I have one quick question because the text prior to today's text, which we treated yesterday, talks about Dhruva Maharaj. And it was said that Dhruva Maharaj, when he went to the forest, the Supreme Lord himself sent Narada Muni to go to him and train him and educate him. So Narada Muni became his spiritual master. And when he became the disciple of Narada Muni, then he attained Krishna. Now, I'm speaking for myself, but probably it might also be appropriate for other devotees that some of myself, I do not know exactly what I did, but by somehow or other, Sri Krishna arranged for me to have a guru. I have a guru. Lots of devotees here also, by Krishna's arrangement, have guru. Now the guru is training us. And it's becoming so difficult for most of us to actually have an encounter with Krishna. So that tells me that we are not doing something our guru is telling us to do. So my question is, how do we learn from Dhruva Maharaj's discipline and following the instructions of his guru that helped him realize Krishna, that someday when we also follow the same path, we may realize Krishna? That is my question, Maharaj.
Well, Dhruva Maharaj's situation was different. Yes, he did realize Krishna by following the instructions of his spiritual master. As stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. Out of many living entities who are wandering throughout the universe, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavana Jeev, one who is fortunate receives the seed of the devotional creeper by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. It is said, by the mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru, and then by the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. But our goal is not actually to see God. Srila Prabhupada used to quote his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that don't try to see God, but act in such a way that God will want to see you. If we want to see God, it may not be so easy. But if we act in such a way that God is pleased and he wants to see us, then who can stop him? So, yeah, that's our real purpose. And also, the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes devotional service influenced by different modes. And Srila Prabhupada has paraphrased those instructions from the third canto. And he says that a devotee who's influenced by the mode of ignorance will think, I'm the only devotee. Everyone else is nonsense. One who is influenced by the mode of passion will think, I want to be known as the best devotee. I want to be famous as the biggest devotee. One who is influenced by the mode of goodness will think, I want to go back home, back to God. And one who is transcendental will think, I just want to serve Krishna and please Krishna. So he's not even in a way, he's not interested in going back home, back to Godhead for his own sake. I mean, if Krishna wants, then he would, but what he really wants is just to serve and please Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I think with the explanation you gave, I think I will be very happy to be in the mode of goodness, wanting to go back home. I want to go back home. So, dear devotees, if anyone has a question, please, you may do so before Maharaj leaves us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Prabhu, please.
Maharaj, please kindly accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to you, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Maharaj, I have one question, and the question is that we have been told that in this age of Kali Yoga, the fastest way of for one becoming purified and to link up with Krishna is to call upon his names, to call on Krishna's names.
Yes.
And that Krishna is not different from his name. It's identical with his name.
Yes.
And that when these names are chanted, when Krishna's name is chanted, then Krishna is right there because it's no different from his names. So how can we practice chanting Krishna's names loudly, and also chanting this same Krishna name mentally? Because sometimes we may be in a situation where we cannot hold our beat, a situation where we may not be able to chant as soft as possible, like chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. sometimes we will not be able to open our mouth to chant. So in that situation, we can still remember Krishna by chanting his holy names on the mental platform. So how do we practice this chanting of Krishna's name mentally?
Well, as far as possible, we should chant audibly, even if it's quiet. The problem with chanting mentally is that if our mind wanders, then there's no chanting. Whereas if we chant audibly, even if our mind wanders, still there is chanting going on and there's benefit. So, although it's said that Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he would chant 3 lakhs of names daily, 1 lakh loudly, 1 lakh quietly, and 1 lakh mentally. But he could do that and remain focused on the holy name. But at our stage, because our minds wander, if we chant mentally and then our mind wanders, then there's no chanting. So that's why I say if possible, it's better to chant softly, because even if our mind wanders, at least we're still chanting and getting some benefit that way.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So anyone else with something to ask, something to share? Oh, Chandrika Mataji, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my obeisance. Guru Maharaj, I had a question that, like, even in Bhakti Yoga, sometimes, like, devotees do a lot of austerities, like maybe in the month of Kartik, they only have milk, or, you know, they only have smoothies. So, what is it better? Is it better for us to do, I don't know, try to do it that way, or to just like focus on improving the sadhana more in terms of quality?
Well, the main focus should be to improve our spiritual practices, improve the quality, and we can also increase the quantity. We can do other austerities, but they should be favorable to our Krishna consciousness. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, Vishmartavya najatuschit. That is the basic principle of sadhana bhakti. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, to always remember Krishna or Vishnu. Vishmartavya nadatuchit, and not to forget him at any time. And all the other positive injunctions and negative prohibitions are servants of the one positive injunction to always remember Krishna, and the one negative prohibition to never forget him. So we can do other austerities if they're favorable to Krishna consciousness, to always remembering Krishna and never forgetting him. But they shouldn't become a distraction from Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Guru. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I think we have a question in the chat room. And if I may read the question, just Hare Krishna, my Guru Maharaj, after completing our 16 rounds, if we want to continue to ponder on the Lord Krishna and we cannot chant, can we keep reading about Lord Krishna's pastimes in this practice, or never forgetting Krishna be equal to benefits of chanting? I mean, I quite don't follow, but what he's trying to say, let me reread Maharaj. Says, Hare Krishna, my Guru Maharaj, after completing our 16 rounds, if we want to continue to ponder on Lord Krishna and we cannot chant, can we keep reading about Lord Krishna's pastimes? Is this practice, or it's never forgetting Krishna be equal to the benefits of chanting?
Yes, reading about Krishna is very beneficial. Srila Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book, so we could read Krishna's pastimes. And he also gave us Srimad Bhagavatam, at least the first 13 chapters of the 10th canto. So we can read Krishna's pastimes. So yes, always remember Krishna and never forget him. So that's fine if we chant. If we've completed our 16 rounds, of course, that's essential. In the purport to that verse, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Ismartavya Najatu Chit. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that of all the instructions of a spiritual master, the instruction to chant minimum 16 rounds is most essential for us to always remember Krishna and never forget him. But if we've completed our 16 rounds and we want to meditate on Krishna by reading his pastimes in Krishna book or in the 10th canto, that's very good. That's welcome.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for the beautiful answer. We go to Parameshwari Devi, please. Give me unmute.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, will you accept my obeisances? All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us. I have a question related to what you shared just earlier about what a devotee thinks in different mode. Like if you're in the mode of ignorance, you think that you are the early devotee, etc. And so I think my question is how can I not fool myself into thinking that, like, I want to think that I want to go back to Godhead, for example, but is that really my desire? Is that really the desire of the heart? Is that just me fooling myself by saying that I want to go back to Godhead? I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, you know, we might have mixed desires. We might want to go back to Godhead and serve Krishna. But there might be a part of us that wants to stay in the material world and enjoy. But two things. One is we don't want to act on the desire to stay in the material world and enjoy. And the other is that we want to purify our desires, which can be done especially by chanting and hearing. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that cleanses the dust from the mirror of the mind. And then when the dust is cleansed, then we see who we really are. And as I quoted earlier, Jiver Swarupai Krishna Nityadas, who we really are is eternal servants of Krishna. And then we act in our constitutional position as eternal servants of Krishna. And I mean, we can use material things or so-called, we can deal with so-called material things if they can be engaged in Krishna's service. We don't reject them, but at the same time, we don't try to enjoy them. And Rupa Goswami has given a very significant definition of yukta vairagya. And the first part of the definition is anasaktasya vishayan, which means without being attached to the objects of the senses. Yeah, nirbande Krishna sambande, but seeing how everything can be used in Krishna's service. Yukta vairagya uchate, that is appropriate renunciation. So yeah, we can accept material things to use in Krishna's service, but we shouldn't be attached to them.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you for your nice question.
Thank you so much, Parameshwari, for the question, and Maharaj, thank you for the answer. Anyone else with something to ask? Oh, Salika Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Okay, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances once again. Maharaj, asking, my question is in a follow-up with the question Sadif Prabhu asked earlier. I had a meditation on a verse today, and it's related to this question of how Krishna sends Narad Muni to Dhruva Maharaj. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text number 61, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that that is situated in the heart of the living entities and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of the material body. Prabhupada did a very beautiful explanation in the purport how the living entities are placed in a particular type of a machine as a carryover from their previous life. And in the next verse, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that in the respect of what he has told Arjuna, the appropriate step is to take surrender. Now, my question is, as a sadhaka, when we take to the path of devotional service, we are endeavoring to surrender. But at the back of our mind, we know that every of our activities we engage in are often mostly carried out by material nature, as Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita earlier in chapter 3. So I want to understand, Maharaj, how do we distinguish when we act as the result of our mood to surrender, or maybe when material nature is actually directing our thoughts to act in a particular way? Because sometimes we think we're trying to endeavor in doing some service, trying to surrender to Krishna. But at the back of our mind, we know that material nature is directing the activities, is engaging us. So how do we know when we actually are acting as a result of our free will choice to render service, or the influence of the previous life, as Krishna stated, that is directing the wandering of the living entity? I hope my question is clear, Maharaj.
Well, yes, what you said is true, but it doesn't take into account the free will of the living entity to decide to voluntarily surrender to Krishna. And once you decide to voluntarily surrender to Krishna, then the material nature doesn't act in the same way. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that if someone is in a boat but is not very expert, the boat will, sort of toss and turn with the waves. But because he's in the boat, he won't get wet. And Srila Prabhupada gave the example to make the point that when you're engaged in devotional service, if you're not so expert, you might feel some influence of the modes of nature, but you won't actually be contaminated by them because you're engaged in devotional service. In other words, you won't get wet. So, yeah, and then gradually, with experience, we'll become more expert. As Srila Prabhupada said, good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. So, yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Maharaj. I take that very seriously. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes as a result of judgment. I'll put that in my notes.
Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Anyone else before Maharaj, please, for the day? Maharaj, on Monday, this very past Monday, we were very much blessed because this past Monday was the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada. And we were fortunate we had Her Grace Mother Malati speak to us that day.
Nice.
Yeah, and fortunately for those of us who were here with her online, she somehow mystically transported us all to when Srila Prabhupada was preparing to leave. And she read to us this amazing letter that you wrote to Srila Prabhupada. Actually, you were writing to Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, you were writing to Krishna for Prabhupada. And when we heard what Mother Malati was reading from what you wrote, and I was thinking to myself, oh, Krishna, I hope I can also learn, because even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when there was no time to do anything, those who were praying to Krishna, they first of all glorify him before they say whatever they want to say to Krishna. And so when you were praying to Krishna, you also started with the glorification. You glorified Krishna in so many wonderful ways. And I am just simply asking the Supreme Lord that the Supreme Lord blesses us so that those of us who are second, third generation can also have this same mood, that we have this same love for Guru that you have for Srila Prabhupada, that we can also have for our Gurus. And even though as insignificant as we may be, can also pray to the Lord on behalf of our gurus, because the gurus are taking so much risks on our behalf. So this is just my prayer. And I'm just asking the devotees that if you all will agree with me, we should try to make this like a daily prayer to the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Lord protect our gurus for us, because without them, we have nowhere to go. Hare Krishna. And thank you so much, Maharaj, for being here with us as always. Hare Krishna.
Lalita Devi, do you want to ask something or say something?
Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, I'm forgetting Chantal's initiated name. She should forward the video link if you and the organizers permit and would play, if that's desired, the slate.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Priya will do that.
Yeah.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I'll just play.
Okay.
I'll share the video link on the chat room so you can pick it up from there.
I'll play for the meeting and then we can share on the chat later. Is it okay?
Yes. You go ahead and play it, please.
So if we're ending now, I suggest we conclude with Vaishnav Pranam.
Okay.
But
So, dear devotees, please let me do this. Please kindly unmute and we all chant the Vaishnav Pranam Jai. Vancha kalpa
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की
Vaishnavrinda
जय
ki jai.
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
Hari Bol.
His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj ki
जय
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
jai.
So, Prabhu, should I play the video now?
Yes,
Or-
please. Yeah, you may play.
All right. All around it. This is
You should write. This is your first business. Go on writing.
This instruction was given to His Holiness Giriraj Swami personally by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in 1971 and repeated over the years. In more than 5 decades since, Giriraj Swami has served Srila Prabhupada faithfully and tirelessly, sharing his experiences and realizations with us in his books. Have you ever wondered how service to God relates to service to man? What was Srila Prabhupada's vision that led people around the world to chant Krishna's names.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Watering the seed is an invaluable offering to all aspirants on the path of devotion, with many wonderful personal exchanges between Srila Prabhupada and his dear disciple. Giriraj Swami kindly shares his realizations with the honesty, wisdom, and humility for which he is known and loved. It transports us into Srila Prabhupada's intimate association during some of the most historic moments of ISKCON's development.
It's like in the sky there is one moon only, and there are millions of stars. But one more, dissipate the whole darkness of the night. Similarly, at least those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, each of you become a moon and enlighten the world.
Oh hey Vaishnava Guru, Yara Saguru, Yadase Guru. Oh hey Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kari.
The great souls described in these pages are bright, full moons of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Their lives are living instructions. Their activities, chandrikas, cooling, illuminating moonbeams of Vaishnav sharing, teaching, and realization.
Diyapada Chaya Sodohe Amaya. Diyapada Chaya Sodohe Amaya.
With their unconditional love and dedication to Srila Prabhupada, these personalities built this worldwide movement and gifted it to us, to be nurtured by it and to serve.
An exclusive treatise on one's last days of life that gives readers the resource to face death squarely. And deal successfully with that often fearful and painful, but also saving moment. Down to earth and practical as well as scriptural, both fresh and mature. It draws us in with superb narrative and also answers tough questions about death and dying.
Drawing from both spiritual leaders and experts in the field of hospice and palliative medicine, life's final exam has universal application.
One of the most important books about Srila Prabhupada. It's about Srila Prabhupada and his Leela of years of heartbreak and struggle in Juhu, Mumbai. No one else can write this book like His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada's struggle to establish Hare Krishna land and build a temple for Sri Sri Radha Rasa Bihari in Juhu, on the outskirts of Bombay, was perhaps the greatest effort of his preaching movement. By the strength of his desire, an overgrown plot of land in what had been a remote fishing village, infested with rats, snakes, and mosquitoes, became a place of pilgrimage and devotional service. And after a prolonged and arduous but victorious struggle, when the conveyance was finally signed, he declared, "It was a good fight. Someone should write a book about it."
I'll build you a temple transports us into one of the great events of our time. It is a story of surrender on the path of pure love, an incomparable story that many have tried to relate, but which no one will ever be able to tell, like His Holiness Giriraj Swami.
From the beginning, Giriraj Swami served the Juhu project in various roles for 30 years and spent years researching, writing, and preparing the book for publication. It is part of ISKCON history, a complement to Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita.
This book is a page-turner to the highest degree. Once you begin, you just can't put it down.
Giriraj Swami has written his 5th book, Dancing White Elephants. Traveling with Srila Prabhupada in India, August 1970 to March 1972. Covering visits to Amritsar, Indore, Surat, Bombay, Calcutta, Allahabad, Gorakhpur, Delhi, Madras, and Mayapur. In some 400 pages of text and 17 images, Dancing White Elephants, with the foreword by Malati Dasi, who was present for most of the adventures, will captivate the minds and hearts of readers and increase their attachment to and love for Srila Prabhupada and his white elephants, his disciples who helped him in his mission.
Through Maharaj's carefully chosen words, you will see the exquisite sights and feel like you are living the experiences that were part of establishing the Hare Krishna movement in India. You will meet incredible devotees who became pillars of this movement through their own storied spiritual growth and advancement, and be introduced to seemingly ordinary persons whose lives became transformed by contact with Prabhupada and his dancing white elephants, just as he envisioned.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the devotees who put this amazing story together for the world to see, witness, learn, and also be encouraged to develop this love of Guru and Krishna in our hearts. Like Maharaj said, the love of God is already in our hearts. It just has to be rekindled. And that is the duty of the Guru, But we have to allow the Guru to rekindle it because he is not forcibly going to do it. We have to allow ourselves. So that should be our prayer, and that certainly is my prayer. And Maharaj, unlimitedly, our gratitude and thanks to you for being with us and teaching us and guiding us and giving us your love as always. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your service.
All glories to His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So we bring this to a close today, and we meet here Monday through Friday every week. So whoever may have the time, you may stop by to bless us with your association and wisdom. And at least we know that once in a month, we get to have Maharaj's blessings upon us. And that is more than enough to carry us through another month till we get his divine association again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for your wonderfulness. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.